Three Guineas winners from the same stable and all different horses. A magnificent achievement, Charlie. How are the three since their big wins?
Yeah, first and foremost, like I say, it was a fantastic achievement by the whole of the team here at Moulton Paddocks and the team at Godolphin, and most importantly for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed. You know, to have sort of two homebreds and a horse that was purchased from the sales, everybody's got as I say, something out of it. You know, the sales team are obviously delighted. It was great for them to be able to pick a horse like Native Trail to end up being champion 2-year-old and a classic winner at 3. And for everybody in the homebred team there, Kildangan and all around the world, and here at Darley, to produce two classic winners, by Dubawi is obviously what we're always striving to try and achieve.
Let's go through them chronologically. Caribus, first of all, magnificent win, magnificent fighting win in the Guineas at Newmarket. How's he been since that?
He's come out the race very well. As we know, we gave him a prep gallop there. We didn't give him a prep run. We sent him to Newmarket before the Guineas. So we always felt that he'd done enough work and was ready to go and hopefully run the race of his life there in the Guineas, and he justifiably did. And the plan was always from there to head straight to the St James's Palace. So he's had a nice break. He's fresh and well, and the first week there he had a very quiet week, and from there onwards he was showing his wellness again, and he's been back into a routine exercise.
So he's ready. Can we look for improvement when he goes to Ascot?
I feel any Dubawi through their 3-year-old career is going to, it's his horse we've spoken about before in the past, that I've always felt that he's going to be the horse that is going to progress through the season. So therefore, yes, I am expecting improvement again, because like I say, just knowing the Dubawis the way we do, we're always confident that as 3-year-olds, they're just going to progress month on month through their 3-year-old career, should we say.
Modern Games, a magnificent win at Longchamp, always going to win, I thought, in the run. How's he been since that?
Again, he's a tough little Dubawi there. As we saw, look, he was well travelled as a 2-year-old there, going to America and winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Again, we just gave him a prep run, or a gallop, should we say, going into the French Guineas there. And as you quite rightly say, it was one of those comfortable races to watch. That we were lucky, we had the draw. He got a good box seat there, and from there on, it was a nice race to watch. And you're always confident that he would go there and get the job done. And he's come out of it as he always does out of all of his races. He's a hard-knocking Dubawi, and very much looking forward to stepping him up in trip and going to the French Derby now.
Now, what about that step up in trip? Is that an adventurous move, or do you think it's well within his compass?
I think it's well within his compass. He's a horse there as a 2-year-old there. We know it's that he went over the mile there in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He's did all the best work towards the finish there in the French Guineas as well, and he's got the right attributes. He's got a good level head. He's got plenty of experience. You can park him up anywhere within the race. As you saw in America there, he came from off the pace. In the French Guineas there, he was parked up close to the pace. So he takes a lot of experience into a race like the French Derby, which you need.
Now, Native Trail, great win at the Curragh. He'd been there before, he'd done his stuff there before, and it was good to see him actually go one better after being runner-up at Newmarket. You often said that you thought that he was a man among boys as a 2-year-old, but he seems to have maintained that level, if you like, of superiority as a 3-year-old. Can we expect more from him?
I think that hopefully the improvement will come in potentially stepping up in trip now. He's again another horse, going into the Irish Guineas there. I was delighted with the way he looked. Walking around the paddock, he had the same presence as he did, walking around in the national stakes there at the Curragh. And the one thing about him is, many people have spoken about it, that sort of flat spot as he hits in all of his races. But the one thing he does, he always goes through the line strong. Obviously we haven't firmed up any plans of where his next run will be, but he's in the St James's Palace. But as we know, we've got Caribus in there as well. And it's like I say, it's he has had 3 runs under his belt so far. He's obviously gone Craven, English Guineas, Irish Guineas. So you know he deserves to maybe have a little bit of a break now, and in doing so, then that would potentially we would look more strongly to going towards the Eclipse, where we know they get a great weight pool, those 3-year-olds. It's a great race for the 3-year-olds, and you know, again, we'd like to see him step up to the 10 furlongs now.
Stepping up to the 10 furlongs is one thing. Stepping up to the 10 at Sandown is another. It's a very testing course. Have you every confidence that he would run out the trip there? It's
one of those, you know, as you quite rightly say, it's a stiff 10 at Sandown, but it's one of those tracks where, you know, it's not an end-to-end gallop. You know, I always feel that you know, compared to, let's say, for instance, York, where we know in the Juddmonte International there, they can, you know, it's a more conventional track, but they can go an end-to-end gallop there. Whereas sometimes at Sandown, the gallop can be, you know, slightly easier early doors, and they build into it, and you know they lengthen up the straight there. So, you know, at the end of the day, 10 furlongs is 10 furlongs, and you know he's a class horse that you know, I feel that the way his run style goes is something we're keen to venture for sure.